There's a place I like to
Hey y'all,
go.
Joefer here, the
It's a
cranky
sunny
old gay guy. It is Monday the 15th of January. And actually it is the 13th of January, my mistake. The 15th is a date in mind because it has to do with a hearing that's coming up on Rooster Rock. Rooster Rock is one of two designated clothing optional beaches in Oregon. And I believe it is the first nationally recognized official nude beach. And, well, it's under fire. And there is a new proposal that's going to be put forth by the parks or by the Oregon State Park Department that allows them to redraw the boundaries of the naturist area. Currently, it is based on physical attributes of the park. The high water mark, I think, was it 100 yards from the high water mark, you can be clothing optional. And the other one is, what is the other one? Anything, I want to say anything east of, or 300 feet from the ramp that goes down to the actual sand from the upper level of the park. And that's at the east end of the parking lot. And it's been that way for years and years and years and years. In the 90s is when they first started restricting like the feet from the ramp, the feet from the park, etc. I remember when I started going in the 80s, the locker rooms had showers and people would just walk anywhere in the east parking lot. You could just walk from your car nude down to the beach or from the bathroom or whatever. Was that legal? I don't know, but people did it and there was never any issue. And then there was a religious organization that started having prayer circles trying to close the beach. And they had someone at the top of the parks department, or that park director. I'm not sure which it was, but he was part of that group and he tried very hard to end nudity entirely. And I do believe it went to court. The estate that left the property to the county as a state park, in the actual documents, it stated that they have to have a naturist area. And that's when it was first sent over or given to the state or the county for the parks. These borders were established and they've been that way ever since. Well, someone now has a wild hair up their butt and they want to change that. And why that's a bad thing. The Parks Department says, oh, it would just simplify things so we can make sure that we know exactly where everything is and everything's going to be the same, matching on paper that we talk about, etc. But the issue is changing the borders would not require any type of public input with this new provision. And anyone in the Parks Department who has authority could at any time redraw the map, and you would find that rather than be able to be a naturist the moment you get down off the ramp, you might have to walk out within 50 feet of the water, which sometimes is at the bottom of the ramp, but other times it's a mile walk just to get to the beach. So think about a 100-degree day and you're walking down to the river or back from the river to the parking lot. It's a long walk, and imagine having to put your clothes on to do that. You'd be a sweaty mess by the time you get back. And again, there's no rhyme or reason to do this other than to force a restriction on the people that go there, because the person proposing this is not a nudist or a naturist and doesn't want that in the park. Over the years, this has happened many times when it's normally citizens, organizations that say we can't take our kids on our boat because when we go by the sand island, we see nude people. Well, you know, there are miles and miles of beach at Rooster Rock State Park. You don't have to go and park your boat at the nude section. It's not something you have to do. So those complaints, usually nothing happens, but when that guy in the mid to late 90s was in charge, he listened to them foolishly and tried to impose these things. And I think the whole thing was just a crock, a major crock. The hearing is on the 15th. It's 5:30 p.m. It's virtual. I don't know if I'm going to be attending on Zoom or not. And if I do, there's been no mention in the little thing I was reading that I would even get to give any input. So again, that sucks. The fact that anyone is trying to stop or restrict nudism in the park, which is a designated nationally designated nude beach, is crazy to me. I would like to make a alternative proposal and state that nudity should be allowed in all state and city parks across the country, just like it is in Europe. We're not talking sexual activity. We are talking naturism. If you are in a sunny park and you want to take your clothes off and get a tan, why not? I've been to Europe. I've been to parks. Women take their tops off and show their boobs as they're laying in the sun. Not a big deal. Guys are walking around naked. Not a big deal. People are laying on their stomachs, men and women, nude. No big deal. No one makes a big deal about it. The only people that really pay any attention and gawk are tourists. And there are tourists that hit the nude beach as well. Not as much as they used to. There used to be an actual tour bus that would stop there. And it seems that every tourist would go out to the ridge. This is back before the beach changed from storms and stuff. At one point in the late 90s, early 2000s, the parks actually did a lot of maintenance, and they put in volleyball courts and designated swim areas. They cleared big spots from rubbish so there'd be a nice sand. They'd chew up the sand. It was really nice. And it was just below the cliff, just at the bottom of that parking lot ramp. So you didn't have to walk far from the parking lot to get to a nude area where you could actually recreate. But these tour buses would come through, and you would have people up on the ridge fully clothed with binoculars and cameras, and they would stand up there out in the open and just stare at naked people. So at the time, that particular volleyball area was very hippie, and the hippies would bring mirrors. And when you'd see the tourist bus come, everyone would grab a mirror and they would just reflect to drive the tourists away. So it's not as if the beach hasn't been under attack before. But the fact that now it's a formal proposal by someone at the top, and it's being proposed at the 15th, and you can send in, I guess, email comments by the 17th. But normally when there is a commission hearing, decisions are made at the commission. Any of that follow-up stuff, they've already made up their mind. I just hope that there is a big enough outcry from the like Omen and the Oregon Nature Society, and there's another one, OR or something, that's in Southern Oregon. I hope all of them step up and complain about this, because it is ridiculous and it's uncalled for, and the only reason for it is so they can they could change the map every year and just make the area smaller and smaller and smaller where you could be nude. It's a bunch of prudes is what it is. I think you should really adopt the European system. Germany, Amsterdam, I think France. Ooh, I haven't been to a park in France, so I can't stay on that one. But I have seen the nudity in Germany and the nudity in Amsterdam. That's all I got today. It made me cranky. I haven't really given you a cranky video in a while. But yeah, this made me very cranky, and I think enough is enough. Time to put your foot down, take your clothes off, hold up that sign that says, F you, leave our beach alone. Comments are encouraged. Please let me know. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
There's a place I like to go. It's a sunny getaway. The place where I recharge in oh so many ways. I've been going more than 40 years. It's my church, if I must say. The nudist beach at Rooster Rock, where I go It's not a gay, straight, or gender thing. It's nature, just let it be. Public spaces like this are